Good evening. In this session, we will talk about how to create a simple login servlet with Oracle database. This is our scenario. We have a simple login GSP with two fields for username and password. When user fill his name and password and please submit, the request will be dispatched to the login servlet. The login servlet will check if the user is valid. It will be forwarded to welcome GSP file. If he isn't, he will reset to the login GSP. So let's go to implementation. First, we'll go to create a new Maven project. And select web app archetype. Let's give it a name, for example, uh, example, and click finish. Okay, this is our POM. As usual, I need to add the dependency log4j to help me for logging, and I also want to tell the Maven how to compile our project. Let me see here. Access the target runtime and Java build path. Here everything is okay. No, yes, I should check this. Okay, now because we will work with Oracle, we should add the JDBC driver to the build path. So let me go there and add external jar. I already download it from internet. Okay, now let's create our log4j property file here. Okay, log4j. I've created a lot of sessions about using and configuring log4j. You can come back and to visit it here. I'll copy them directly because we're now focusing about how to create a login servlet. So here I'm output the debugging into the console and also to uh, the log4j application.log. It's located inside d/log in my case. Okay. Okay, let's now create our here. It would be here. Yes, I need GSP file. I'll call it login. It's a simple form method is best, and the action would be login servlet, which we will create it later. Inside this form we have two input. Give it name, username for example, another one for password. We also need a login button and give it value login. Let's give here a name, username. password. Okay, let's now create our servlet. Let's name it login servlet. Sorry, this is package name. Give it name package, for example, no problem. Okay, this is our servlet. We'll go to the do post to handle our request. First of all, we should get the username and password field by the user and assign them into the local variable. For example, string username equal request dot get parameter username. The same for the password. Okay. After that, we need to check if the username and password are valid or the user is valid in general. So I will say if user DAO, for example, is valid and I pass it user name and password. If he is valid, I will forward it to the welcome to GSP. If he isn't, I will direct it to the login to GSP. Okay, to forward it, I need request dispatcher. I should declare it here. Okay, now if he is valid, I'll say RD equal request dot get request dispatcher for the login. For welcome to GSP. Otherwise, I will set RD equal request dot get request dispatcher for the login dot GSP. After that, I will say RD dot forward and pass the request and the response. Okay, now as you see here, what's problem here? Username. Yes, of course the user DAO class is not implemented. I need to create it. Okay, create. Okay, in the package, no problem. Okay, so I need to declare this method, which is called is valid. It will return boolean, and I want to make it static, public static is valid. It will take two parameters from type string. Okay, let's say we have is valid parameter or variable and set it with false. Okay, before we continue, we need to get a connection method. Let's declare it. This method will return a connection for the Oracle database. Also, it would be static and return connection object. And let name as a method get connection. Okay. What's the point here? I think we need to import. Yes. Okay. Inside the try, we first need to load the driver using class statement class dot for name, and we will pass the class for the Oracle to Oracle dot gtpc dot driver dot Oracle driver. Actually, this class is you can see it inside the JDBC driver. First of all, let me add it here to the lib folder because you need it to execute the application, and at the same time I want to see you this class. Okay, I'll double click. You see, if we go here, oracle.gbc dot driver, yes, oracle driver. This is the class. Okay. Okay, after we getting a class, we need to get a connection. We'll say con equal. We'll use driver manager dot get connection, and we will pass the URL. You can get this driver name and the URL from internet easily. GDBC colon oracle colon thin colon at local host and our port, and then our instance, oracle instance, and then we will pass username and password. In my case, okay, of course we can get exceptions while getting the connection, so we should handle and catch them. In general, I want to log the exception, so here we should create a static variable for logging. Yes, logger equal dot get logger, and we will pass our class name userd audit class. So here I can say logger dot error, for example, and I can say severe error at method. I can insert our method here, so I can tell where is the exception exactly raised. It will help me in debugging, and problems will raise sooner or later. Okay, and I will pass the exception. Okay, if I didn't any exception, I will return the connection I get. Okay, now here, I want to execute statement inside the user's table, so I need a connection and statement, or prepare the statement and result set. So let me declare here. I say static connection, and I also need result set. Okay, first of all I need to get a connection, but all these statements should be wrapped inside try catch, because they might raise an exception. So let's say con equal get connection. Okay. After get connection, we need to get the prepare statement object using the connection dot. So we need to prepare statement. Here I will pass our SQL statement. Select username as the password from my table name is users, where username equal question mark, and here I'm using prepared statement to prevent any attempts for SQL injection. After we get prepared statement, I will set the username and password parameter using set string. For the first parameter, I pass the username I received from the method. The same thing for the second. Okay, that set string, second be password. Okay, now we should execute the statement using user set. Yes, equal ps.execute query. Okay, if the result set has any records returned, we, we can depend on this to tell that this user is actually identified in the database and the username and password provided are matched. So we can say is valid equal rs.next. Next, as we see, okay, this method return boolean value indicates if there is a record inside the result set or no. If there is, that means the user is actually inside the database. Okay, now if we catch an exception, I want to log the exception and I will say here, for example, error occurred at is valid method, for example. Okay. Now what we need is to close the resources, for example, connection and prepare statement and result set. These are the resources, and if it didn't close carefully, it would might cause a memory leak. So we should take care of closing this connection probably. Inside final block, this final block will execute it regardless of an exception is raised or no. We will start with um, with a prepared statement, for example, ps.close. Okay, but this close statement itself might also raise an exception, so we should surround it with a try catch. So I will say try, and I should check if the prepared statement object actually is null or no. If it's not equal null, I'll try to close it, and if I catch any exception while closing it, what I need to do is to log the exception. I will say error is valid, But also I want to say what exactly it's happened inside the is valid method. I can say while closing the prepared statement. This will help me in debugging if any issues happened. Okay, now this statement, this block will be repeated for the result set and the connection. So here, for example, it would be okay. Here, one inside the result set, and here it would be for the connection. Okay, okay. Now I will return the connection, the value of this valid, and now we didn't set the data type of the method returned. Okay. Okay, now our is valid method is ready. Now here what is the point? Username. What's the point with this? Okay, nothing. Okay, what we missed is the welcome page. Let me create it. Okay, welcome to GSP. We just want to say welcome, for example. Percentage equal, for example, request get parameter the username. Okay, now let's go for testing. Okay, here inside users table, I have John and his password is ABC, and Sarah, his password is 12345, and Jack. Okay, I'll test them. For example, I say Sarah 2345. Let's see what will happen. You see here it gave us an exception, so invalid username and password, but where it in get connection. So in get connection we have problem. Okay, let's come back and get connection to here. Yes, but my username here is not CST, it's CTS. Okay, let's save. After saving, the report will restart again, and now we can check again for Sarah. And 12345. What happened? Login servlet. Okay, let's come back to login servlet here. Login servlet. Okay, and here is login servlet. What's the point? Mm, okay. I want to restart the server again. Welcome.gps. Hmm. Okay, it's easy. It's welcome.gsp. Okay, now, okay, it says welcome. So if I, for example, okay, I'll stay on the logon GSP. That's all. Thank you.